Good morning and welcome to this week's Psychology Today. I'm your host, Amelia Cummins, and I look forward to today with you. Now,
Psychology Today, Psychology Today, Psychology Today.
we'll be having members from the Northern Caribbean University share with us on somatic symptom disorders and dissociative disorders. So excited, and I'm looking forward to symptom disorders. It's a very interesting topic, and I look forward to covering a little bit of that with you today. So, it's a group of conditions that cannot be medically explained, and I'm sure medically may be confusing since this is psychology. Well, it lies on the interface of abnormal psychology and medicine. So, the person will experience physical symptoms as well as abnormal thoughts, feelings, and behaviors associated with those symptoms. So interesting, I know. And the cognitive style of those individuals can cause them to have a hypersensitivity to their bodily sensations. This is a very rare condition, and so it's very difficult to study. Some symptoms may include pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, weakness, constant worry about potential illness, repeatedly checking your body for abnormalities, frequent healthcare visits, being unresponsive to medical treatment. These are all symptoms of somatic symptom disorders. And if prevention is definitely better than cure. But in order for us to know how to prevent something, we first need to know the causal factors and risk factors associated with it. Some risk factors we have are anxiety and depression, having a medical condition or recovering from one, being at risk of developing a medical condition such as having a strong family history of a certain disease, experiencing stressful life events, trauma, or violence, having experienced past trauma such as childhood sexual abuse, and then we have lower level of education or socioeconomic status. These are all risk factors associated with somatic symptom disorders. Now, the causal factors we have are genetics and biological factors. So, as we spoke about earlier, the hypersensitivity to bodily sensations, so they feel the increased sensitivity to pain. And then we have negative personality. So, if you have a negative personality, this will impact how you identify and perceive illness and bodily symptoms. Then we also have decreased awareness of or problems processing emotions. This causes physical symptoms to become the focus rather than the emotional issues that you're facing. And then we also have a learned behavior. So the attention that you gain from being sick or the benefits that you gain from being sick, this is now causing you to develop the somatic symptom disorder. So these are the causes and risk factors. I know that we know this. We can now move on to prevention. How can you prevent somatic symptom disorders? Firstly, you can seek professional help for anxiety or depression. Anxiety and depression, as we mentioned before, are risk factors. So, in seeking help, you can learn how to manage it so that it doesn't become more severe, putting you at a greater risk of having a somatic symptom disorder. You can also learn to manage your stress and use relaxation techniques. As we mentioned before, the decreased awareness of or problems processing emotions are what causes you to hyper focus on physical symptoms rather than the emotional causes. So, an emotional cause could be stress. So, you need to learn how to manage your stress and use these relaxation techniques in order to prevent somatic symptom disorders. Now that we know how to prevent it, we also need to know how to treat it. Here's how it can be treated. Somatic symptom disorders can be treated with cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. In cognitive behavioral therapy, it teaches the individual how to examine and adapt their beliefs and expectations about health and physical symptoms, learn how to reduce stress, learn how to cope with physical symptoms, reduce preoccupation with symptoms, reduce avoidance of situations and activities due to uncomfortable physical sensations, improve daily functioning at home, at work, in relationships, and in social situations, address depression and other health disorders of the mental capacity. Family therapy may also be helpful by examining family relationships and improving family support and functioning. All of this is under cognitive behavioral therapy in the treatment of somatic symptom disorders. And now we can also look at medication and its use in treating somatic symptom disorders. The medication used in the treatment of somatic symptom disorders are antidepressant medications, as they help to reduce the symptoms associated with depression and pain which occur with somatic symptom disorders. That was the first presentation for this morning. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about somatic symptom disorders from me. Please welcome Denise Baker to the stage.
Hi, what do you know about dissociative disorders? Let me share a little bit about what I know. Now, mental disorders known as dissociative disorders are characterized by a sense of discontinuity and separation from one thought, memories, environment, and identity. Now, people with dissociative disorders unintentionally and unhealthily escape from reality, which makes it difficult for them to engage in their daily activities. Now, let's talk about some treatment. Now, the first treatment would be medication. As for the other one, it is actually talk therapy. Another name for that is psychotherapy. Now, even though treating dissociative disorders may be difficult and challenging, people do find new ways to find coping mechanisms to go on to live a healthy and happy life. Now, what are the signs and symptoms? Let me give you a sneak peek about that. Memory loss, also known as amnesia, of a certain time period, event, people, and even personal information. A sense of being detached from yourself and your emotion. A perception of people and things around you may seem unreal. A blurred sense of identity, significant stress or problem in your relationship, work, or other important areas of your life. Inability to cope with emotional stress or professional stress. And last but definitely not least, mental disorders such as depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts and behavior. Now let's look at one of the three major dissociative disorders defined in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the DSM-5, which is depersonalization or derealization disorder. Now, what are these? Now, depersonalization is an ongoing sense of detachment, of being outside you. It is like you're observing yourself as though you are watching a movie. Yes, I did say movie. On the other hand, derealization is when people and things that surrounds you feel detached and foggy or dreamlike. Time may seem to, slow down or speed up, and the world may also feel unreal. Now let's look at some signs of depersonalization. Now the first sign would be having the impression that your thoughts, feelings, body, or specific bodily parts are being observed by yourself or someone else. The sensation that your head is wrapped up in a cotton, that your legs, your arm, are deformed, expand, or shaken, or that you are not in charge. The third one, a perception that your memories lack emotion and may or may not be your own memories. And the last and final one, a physical or emotional numbness of your senses or responses to the world around you. I hope you did learn something about dissociative disorders, depersonalization, or derealization disorders. Share this with a friend because I tell you so.
That was an excellent presentation, Denise. 2 thumbs up. And now we want to welcome Sheikah Williams to the stage as she finishes off our presentations for this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Before I share my point, I'd like to remind you what is dissociative amnesia. Dissociative amnesia is a condition in which a person cannot remember important information about their life. This forgetting may be limited to specific areas or may include much of a person's life history or their identity. So let me go right in with the point. Amnesia. You hold my hands and I fight the tears, not because of you, but of my fear. Fear so primal, it's tearing me apart. Now we're right back to the start. You look into my eyes and say my name. My cheeks are burning with all the shame. I can't keep close contact with you anymore. I let my eyes fall to the bright white floor. Is this how it's going to be from now on? Is that life really so long gone? I want to look at your face and recognize those eyes and be able to name my family ties. But they say I locked it in deep within, and now I can't even point out my own kin. So tell me, if you are who you say you are, tell me of our life so far, because I need to know if you can deal with me and not the person I may no longer be. Or am I not the one you call lover? And now are you going to look for another? Tell me now so I can choose between the man I can't remember and the man I stand to lose. Thank you.
Thank you to all the students from Northern Caribbean University who were able to participate in our presentations this morning. I was your host, Amelia Cummings, and we'll see you next week for another episode of
Psychology Today.